Today we are taking a look at Albedo from Overlord. This is the Empress of Darkness in the Banpresto Evolve line by Banpresto. Overlord is a dark fantasy series where a veteran gamer stays inside a virtual reality role-playing game. When the shutdown time passes, the world and its non-player characters continue acting as if everything were real. Albedo is the overseer of the Floor Guardians, managing Nazarick and serving Ainz with absolute loyalty. She is a succubus with imposing wings and horns, combining graceful beauty with a dignified and fiercely devoted personality. Today's highlights for this figure are the sweeping wing structure, the flowing hair and dress, and the elegant body line with faithful costume details. The sweeping wing structure wraps around Albedo, with one great wing rising behind her and another curling downward into the feathered base. It creates a spiral shape that frames the entire pose and makes the motion feel continuous from the base up to the tips of the feathers. The flowing hair and dress work together, with long dark strands arcing outward while layered ruffles of the white skirt fan around her legs. That movement links the upper and lower body so the figure feels like it has been caught in a single dramatic moment. The elegant body line and faithful costume details show her as the overseer of guardians in a way fans will recognize immediately. Gold trim, the ornate chest accessory, and the long gloves trace that body line without hiding it, reinforcing both her noble image and her sensual presence. This channel brings you figure reviews and anime merchandise updates straight from Japan. If you enjoyed this kind of content, don't forget to subscribe. Albedo's face here leans toward calm and slightly melancholic, rather than openly smiling. Her small closed mouth and gentle downward curve at the lips give a composed look that suits her proud personality. The brows are thin and slightly arched, softening the expression so it feels controlled instead of cold. Both eyes are printed sharply, with yellow irises and vertical slit pupils that signal her demonic nature. The pupils sit steadily within the prints, and the gaze is directed slightly upward and to one side, as if she is looking past the viewer with quiet confidence. Gloss on the eyes gives a subtle catch of light that keeps them from feeling flat. From the front, the eyes, brows, and cheeks line up cleanly, and the blush across the nose area adds a touch of warmth that matches her more vulnerable moments in the story. Around that expression, the hair sculpt does a lot of work. Bangs frame the face in several separate locks, leaving the eyes visible while still giving a sense of volume. A prominent strand rises from the top of the head, and it blends into the rest of the sculpt rather than feeling like a separate piece. From there, the hair flows outward and backward in very long strands that reach toward the lower back and beyond. Each major section is divided into multiple locks, with grooves and edges that read as individual strands instead of heavy chunks. The outer strands sweep away from the torso in curved arcs, reinforcing the idea that a strong gust of wind has caught her. On the back, the hair spreads into a broad fan that pairs with the wings. It does not fight the wings visually, but echoes their curves. Color-wise, the hair moves through dark blue and dark purple tones, with the tips lightening slightly so the silhouette stays readable against the black wings. The matte finish keeps reflections controlled, so the sculpted lines stay easy to see even where the strands overlap. Up near the temples, the curved off-white horn-like ornaments break the dark mass of hair and push the design further into the realm of a beautiful but clearly non-human guardian. Together, the faceprint, horns, and flowing hair deliver a version of Albedo that feels both faithful and striking from multiple viewing angles. At the chest and shoulders, this figure leans fully into Albedo's formal Nazarick look. The dress is off-shoulder with a fitted white bodice that closely follows the torso before the skirt flares outward. Gold trim runs along the neckline and bodice edges, adding sharp lines that separate the white fabric from the surrounding hair and wings. Over that sits an ornate gold chest accessory in a spiderweb or lattice-like design that crosses the front and links into a band around the neck. In the center is a blue jewel, treated with a glossy finish, so it contrasts against the matte gold and white. The combination of bodice and chest accessory emphasizes her position as a high-ranking guardian rather than a casual outfit. It gives the sense of formal regalia that still shows her figure. The torso itself arches back slightly, with the shoulders pulled behind the line of the hips. That arch, combined with the upward tilt of the head, makes her read as confident and unyielding, as if she is answering a challenge from above. Along the arms, long white gloves reach toward the elbows and keep the color scheme clean between the chest and the hands. On one side, the arm is bent, bringing the hand up near the head where her fingers brush the hair and horn area in a careful, almost absent-minded gesture. On the other side, the arm drops down with the hand resting near the hip and wing, fingers relaxed against the dark feather structure. This contrast between a raised, lightly posed hand and a lowered, resting hand prevents the upper body from feeling stiff. From several directions, you can see how the chest accessory and neckline sit smoothly against the sculpt without visible gaps or awkward planes. Folds in the bodice are modest but present, suggesting fabric stretched over a real body instead of a flat surface. Gold trim and metallic accents are limited to key lines. They trace the shapes that matter, such as the paths of the accessory lines and the edges of the bodice, rather than covering everything. Matte treatment on the gloves and dress keeps the focus on those metallic lines and on the skin that remains visible at the shoulders and upper chest. Taken together, the upper body shows Albedo as both an elegant administrator of Nazarick and a powerful figure whose formal dress does not diminish her presence. Around the waist, the white dress gathers into a layered skirt that moves outward from the body in soft waves. Ruffles stack over one another, and the sculpt shows clear separation between layers instead of a single thick mass. Along the hip, there is a high opening edged with gold trim, revealing her bare thigh and continuing the combination of formal and alluring design seen in the upper body. The folds of the skirt flow in the same direction as the hair and wings, giving a shared sense of motion from top to bottom. One leg is stretched back, with the foot pointing toward the feathered structure that rises from the base, leaving a small gap that keeps the support visually light. The other leg is bent at the knee in a stepping or lifted posture, which pushes the hips slightly out of a straight line and keeps the pose from feeling static. Smooth matte skin on the legs works well against the surrounding feathers and fabric, letting the curves remain clear without heavy shine. Brown strappy sandals wrap around the lower legs in a crisscross pattern, and the thick heels add a bit of visual stability beneath the dramatic upper pose. Straps are defined enough that you can follow each band as it crosses the ankle and lower leg, which helps the footwear feel like part of a real outfit rather than a simple block. Because the downward wing and feather shapes grow out of the base and curve in alongside the extended leg, there is no extra support rod interrupting the line of the sculpt. The overall pose reads as though Albedo is in mid-rise, body arching upward while wings, dress, and feathers surge around her. It is a pose that fits her role as a commanding guardian, giving a sense of elevation and power without losing the elegance of the long dress and sandals. This figure is approximately 32 centimeters tall. That's about 12.6 inches. For size comparison, here's a 350 milliliter can. That's about 12 ounces in the US. Overall, Albedo in Banpresto Evolve by Banpresto comes across as a commanding yet graceful centerpiece. Her face presents a calm, slightly melancholic expression that fits her proud and controlled personality, with yellow eyes and vertical slit pupils grounding her as a non-human guardian. The long flowing hair, curved horn like ornaments, and carefully placed blush brings some softness so she does not feel distant or unapproachable. In the upper body, the off-shoulder white dress, long gloves, and ornate gold chest accessory successfully translate her formal Nazarick outfit into 3 dimensions. Metallic trim and the blue jewel at the collar are used with restraint, marking important lines without overwhelming the sculpt. The arched torso and raised head suggest confidence and authority, as if she is ready to respond to whatever approaches Nazarick. Lower down, the layered ruffled skirt, high hip opening, and bare legs balance formality with a sensual edge that suits her identity as a succubus. The extended backward leg, bent forward leg, and feather contact along the base give the pose a feeling of powerful motion instead of simple standing. Brown strappy sandals and smooth matte legs keep the design grounded and keep the eye traveling along the bodyline rather than stopping abruptly at the base. The sweeping black wings and curled feather structures tie the whole piece together, wrapping around her without hiding the key parts of the sculpt. Fans of Overlord or Albedo who enjoy her role as overseer of guardians will likely appreciate how strongly this figure leans into her noble and devoted image. With its focus on dynamic wings, flowing hair, and a faithful interpretation of her white dress design, it should also appeal to collectors who like dramatic, high-impact fantasy figures with a strong sense of motion. That's it for this video. If there's any part of the figure you liked, feel free to leave a comment and share your thoughts. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.